Today is December the 4th, 2024. This is Carmen bringing you your daily Bloodborne Remaster update. No news on a Bloodborne Remaster today. No news on the emulator either, and would you look at that, the maintenance came and went, and nothing came of it. At least I'm assuming it came and went. I'm not seeing anybody talk about it anymore, and it was scheduled for last night, so guess it came and went. It was yearly maintenance. Happens literally all the time. So yeah. Nothing came of it, of course, as anyone with common sense kind of expected. But let's see, yesterday I believe it was, Hidetaka Miyazaki, or Michael Zaki, or as we call him on the channel, Big Mike. Big Mike had an interview yesterday, and they just kind of asked him, general questions about From Software and what they're doing now. And he said they have several different projects in development from several different genres. Not all of them are directed by him, of course. I'm assuming they've definitely got at least one new Souls game in the works. I'd be surprised they didn't have two new Souls games in the works. Probably a new Armored Core, and probably like an action type game like Sekiro. Probably more action heavy like Sekiro was. I really hope Tanamura gets his own solo Souls game again. He directed Dark Souls 2, and I think he was co-director on Elden Ring. And I think that Elden Ring's build variety can probably be directly attributed to Tanamura. Just coming off of Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro, I'm going to assume that wasn't really on Big Mike's mind, was build variety, considering that Sekiro and DS3 have obviously the worst build variety in the series. Sekiro arguably has better build variety than Dark Souls 3, but you didn't hear that from me. So yeah, I hope Tanamura gets another crack at a solo Souls game, but if it doesn't have Miyazaki's name on it, people are probably just gonna cry about it. So whatever. But he said that Elden Ring 2 is not one of the IPs in development, but he didn't rule out that they'll revisit the IP in the future. So obviously Elden Ring 2 is happening at some point. It's so obvious. The game sold like 30 million copies and like 10 million people bought the DLC. Obviously they're gonna make an Elden Ring 2 at some point. So, yeah, no-brainer. I'm going to assume that's going to be like one of the first things that Sony probably orders after they take them over, because Sony's going to take them over. We don't want it to be true, but let's put the copium aside. It's going to happen at this point. So, yeah, as much as we don't want it, it's going to happen. So, Elden Ring 2 will happen at some point. But hey, they've got a lot of things going on, and I'm excited to see what they are. I would expect our first look, I would say there's a chance at the Game Awards in about a week. I would say you're most likely going to see your first look at what From Software's got next at the Summer Jeff Fest. I think that's most likely, but I would not rule out seeing it at the Game Awards. I think that Jeff is going to get it. I think Jeff is going to show it off either here or at the Summer Jeff Fest, but we will see. So yeah. Anyways, I guess I'll go ahead and get out of here. Big news for, Michael Zaki and FromSoft. Something else that even though I disagree strongly with the overall design of Elden Ring and its bosses and its open world. My respect for Miyazaki is bottomless, because, they asked him, there's a lot of expectations on From Software. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that pressure? And he said that, he's grateful for it, but he doesn't feel pressure. He feels opportunity instead. And, he always stresses that he's grateful to the fans. And I just have so much respect for that, because if this was like Neil Druckmann, the guy who inherited two franchises and arguably made them both worse, he'd be stopping to smell his own farts. He would. He always does. So the fact that Miyazaki is like, yeah, I know, we struck gold, we hit it big, we reached monolithic status. I'm grateful for it all, and I'm happy to have the opportunity. That's great. I respect that a lot, and that's something that you can always respect FromSoft and Miyazaki for. And even though I don't like Elden Ring, I respect how deliberate everything in the game is. Everything feels like it was on purpose, whether it's good or not. So very, very fun. Very, very fun stuff to hear from FromSoft. Very, very good things to hear from Miyazaki. He's humble as always, and it's great to see. Anyways, enough sucking Miyazaki's dick. I'll get out of here. No news on a Bloodborne Remaster today. That's been your daily Bloodborne Remaster update for December the 4th, 2024.